So now we're going to go over some more of how your pistol operates, and we're going to use something called snap caps. Snap caps are good to train with or to learn how your pistol operates. I have a set here. They're dum-dums. They're red. It's a piece of plastic shaped like a bullet. It has like the end shape of the bullet with no primer in it. It's just solid. You can dry fire with these and test. Most of my guns I dry fire without these, but I think it's kind of important to use these when you first start, so you can have a really good understanding of what's going on and how the pistol operates, especially if you're not real familiar with guns. If you're real familiar with guns, and I mean, you might want to use these and you might not. But let's start with some real basic stuff and loading the magazine. So you can load the magazine a couple of ways. You can do it the old school way, like by hand, like that. You can just kind of put it right in the slot there and push the spring down a little bit, about halfway back, and then slide it back. The second one, just put it on top, kind of like that. Push down a little bit, and then push in. And it'll slide right in. You can just, once you do that a little bit, the easier it gets. Let's move these over here. And you don't have to fill up the magazine with these. I mean, this one holds 15 rounds, and I'm not going to put 15 of these in there. I just bought one package and just put them in there. So that's how you load a magazine. And if you need to unload a magazine because you want it unloaded, because you want to unload your live rounds and put these in there, because you want to dry fire, because whatever reason you have, then to take them out, it's real easy. Just, put it close to the table or wherever you're at, or put your hand in front of it and just put your thumb right there and just push forward like that. And they'll come out of there with a little bit of, I just put it down on the table so they don't go flying all over the place. So anyway, these when you're putting 15 of these in there, it can be kind of hard if you don't have strong hands, and these can tear your nail or whatever. So I mean, you can buy one of these. I typically don't use these, but this is real easy to use. It's a mag loader. It's called Upula. I always thought it was called Magula, like one of the Rob Zombie songs, Dragula. But no, it's Upula. It's real simple to work. This thing here just slides in and out. See? You just put this on top of the magazine. You squish it together, push it down on this little metal thing here. You just set the round on that and let that out and go up. And it makes it a lot easier because you can use your body weight instead of your finger strength to do it. Or you use the muscles in your arm, because the muscles in your arms are quite bigger than the ones in your finger. Just push it down, put one in there, let it out. And it's kind of hard to show you because I'm tipping it way forward, and just like that, let it out. Gravity's not your friend right now. When you do it the way you're supposed to do it in the instructions, I'm just trying to do it where you can see. Still easy. And if you want to take them out, there's a little bump right here. And you just grab the little bump. Once again, just like using your thumb. Take them out. So once you use this once or twice, it's really easy to use. You just put it in. Well worth the money. Saves your hands you know, if you're going to go put a couple hundred rounds at the range and you're testing out your new pistol or breaking it in, or if you're just having range day, these are kind of handy to have. They also make a single stack one too, and it works on the Micro 9, the little Beretta single stack 380s. It works on a lot of the smaller calibers. It will work on some of the 22 calibers too. Anyway, so now we have snap caps. These are, once again, these are dum-dums. And this is a good way to figure out how your pistol operates. So we will do this. Pick up our gun. Finger straight. Not in the trigger guard. We will do this. Flip it over. Grab the magazine. We will put it in there till it clicks. We'll hold it down till it clicks. Make sure that it's in there. You can give it a tug if you're not sure, and always maybe just do that for now. So now if you flip it over, you can see the round in there, our snap cap round, our dum-dum round. Let me get a light here so you can see it better. See, you can see it in there. So now, once again, with our finger still off the trigger, we're going to push the slide, right here where my thumb is, we're going to push the slide release down. And it's going to push the slide forward, and it's going to put the cartridge in there. Now, it's in there. And the gun's ready to go. So, right? We pull the trigger. If this was a live round, when we pulled the trigger, it would go boom. But it's not a live round, so it didn't go boom, and it didn't have the force to pull the slide back and reload another cartridge. But that's what we're going to do, because we're practicing and learning how this works. And you need to get it to where, like, I'm going to pull this, I'm going to pull and push, like I told you earlier, this with a lot of force, so we get that all the way out. So don't pull it back half-heartedly. Pull it back hard, and when you get all the way to the end, just let it go like that. Okay, so now there's one out, and there's one in there. We'll pull the trigger. If this was a live round, it would go boom. Okay, we pull our finger off the trigger. It's very important to pull. I've seen many negligent discharges with people with their finger in here like this and pulling this back, and then when they let it go, or even before they let it go, it goes boom, and they unintentionally shoot right in front of them, right next to them, someone close to them, and that's terrifying. So whenever you rack the slide, always make sure your finger's off there. And we're just going to pull it back again, all the way, and let it go. Now it's going to put another one in there. We're going to go boom. Okay. And it went boom. So we're going to do the same thing. Pull it back and let it go. Now we have 3 out. Boom. 4. All right, boom. Okay, so when that last one went boom, our gun, if it's a quality gun, there's nothing wrong with the magazine or anything, when we pull it back, it's going to stick like that. I didn't push the magazine slide up to make it stick. It stuck because it hit this little piece of plastic right there. See that little piece of plastic, how it's high up? When there's a round in there, there's nothing there, and that's what lets the slide go forward. But when it's up like that, that little notch in there catches it, so that way when you want to reload, you just drop the mag, you grab your other magazine, put it in there, push the slide release down, and it's ready to go. Then you can go boom again. So I would suggest using the snap caps to practice with, for a little bit, to understand how the gun works. Once you understand how it works and you're comfortable with that, then when I do dry firing, like when I dry fire, I used to dry fire a lot. Read your manual, your manual that you have. You can dry fire your guns, but some of the guns, always read the manual. Some guns are not meant to be dry fired. Most of them are. So anyway, you can just grab this. You don't have to put those in there. You don't even have to put a magazine in there. When I dry fire, I just rack the slide, point it where I'm going to go. I go shoot it. Sometimes I'll pretend I shoot it 3 or 4 more times, just pulling on the trigger real easy. I let go. I pull the slide back, let it go. Okay. Then I hold it again and dry fire. And you can dry fire, you know. When I dry fire though, I'm not just pulling the trigger. I line it up to point at something. I line my sights up. I squeeze the trigger nice and slow. It should be total surprise when that trigger goes off. Nice and slow. You squeeze it. And that's how I dry fire. I practice where I'm aiming and my technique. And that's really good to do. It builds muscle memory. It helps you to teach how to align your eyes to the sight where you're shooting. Proper technique of how to hold the gun. Doing it fast doesn't mean anything. Work more on your technique first, and then the rest of it will come. And then pretty soon you'll be boom, 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 boom. You know? And you'll be on target and everything. But like I said, the main thing is safety. Safety, safety, safety. Always finger there.